Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the first ever afternoon special of Never Before Seen. My name is Amber Cyprian. I am your host today as we bring you through even more speedruns that have never before been seen in mainline GDQ events. Today is a bunch of runners who are from other regions and time zones in the world because I clearly can't tell time. I think 10 p.m. Eastern time is a reasonable hour, but not everyone else does. I am that weird nocturnal person, but joining me right now is the wonderful Mindez, who is going to be running Discworld and is cosplaying. Oh my god, you got the cosplay out for this.
Yep, got the cosplay out. This costume is very hot, way hotter than I expected, so yep. It's more incentive to go faster.
Yep, I was like, it's a good thing you brought this time down. So why don't you introduce people to yourself and, talk a little bit about the game before we hop into the run, and then feel free to count down whenever you are ready.
Yeah, sure. So, my name is Mindez. I'm a bit of I occasionally do speedruns on Twitch, mostly of dumb games. This is Discworld. It is based on the Terry Pratchett novels. I guess I'll explain more as we go into it. It's a 1995 point-and-click adventure game, and it is kind of notorious as being one of the harder of the mid-90s point-and-click adventure games because of largely how weird the Discworld is, and hopefully I'll be able to explain some of that during this run.
All right.
And Amber, I might need your help throughout the run. If any of this is completely lost from the point of view of someone non-British. Because I know that Discworld is very popular here in Britain. It's constantly top of a bestseller list when it was being published. But I know it's very niche outside of the UK. So if you have any questions, please feel free to jump in.
Oh sure. I've seen you do runs of this, and I'm just like I have no idea what in the world I'm going to be looking at anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very much looking forward to this because. I remember looking at this and getting Blazing Dragons vibes, which is my favorite point and click. And I recommend that as well if anyone is into point and clicks. Play Blazing Dragons. It was on PS1, Saturn, I think, PC? I'm not sure about that. I think it was maybe consoles only, but...
I think it is very similar vibe. I think it might be the same year or 1 year apart or so.
Something like that. I do have one question that I want a clarification for before we get into the run. So this is any percent ScummVM. Can you just explain what ScummVM is?
Yeah, so it used to be called any percent, and then we kind of discovered some glitches that aren't possible on hardware. But nobody actually runs it on hardware. So we've all the runs on the leaderboard were in ScummVM, which is essentially a bit of an emulator. It's a bit of a re-implementation of engines. So it uses the original game scripts, but the engine has been kind of re-implemented. And they wanted to make a standard engine that could run any point-and-click event, 90s point-and-click adventure games. So they've got a bunch of engines in it, and this uses the Tinsel engine.
Okay.
But yeah, because of some of the things they added, some of the glitches are not necessarily possible on hardware. But...
Okay. But there's a lot of quality of life that comes from ScummVM, even outside of some of the glitches that it introduces.
Oh yeah, it makes it super easy to run and super accessible. So that's kind of why we decided on this as the rule set, really. Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate that clarification for those, for the folks at home and for those who don't know, because I remember watching your Twitter, feed of wait, what in the world is happening with this?
Yeah, well, when I first started running it, looked like nobody really looked into all the different versions of the game, so that was kind of my first contribution. I was like, these glitches that we've been using don't actually work on hardware, right? So we had a long think about how to make it,
how to make it its
real,
own thing.
Yeah, exactly. How to set that up because we want it to still be accessible, basically.
All right. So I think I'm ready for this run. I just wanted to make sure we got that clarification out there. I'm sure someone else is going to ask, but it is there for people who want to see it in the VOD. But yeah, whenever you are ready, count us down.
All right. In that case, we are going to begin from restart game in 3, 2, 1, and go. So yeah, this as I say, is a 1995 point-and-click adventure game set in the Discworld universe. It is based on the series of novels by Terry Pratchett. In particular, this one's based on the Guard's Guard novel, in which a dragon is terrorizing Ankh-Morpork, which is the biggest city on the disc. Except instead of the City Watch being the main character, we have Rincewind here, who is the main character for some of the other books. And they decided to make him the main character for this game implementation. And we have our wonderful luggage companion. So we're going to come down here, we're going to get the broom, and we're going to go upstairs and wake up Luggage, who is oversleeping. And Luggage is going to be our inventory. He is a box made of sapient pearwood, and he's going to follow us around, and we can click him to basically bring up our inventory. So they've implemented the inventory in a way that's very like universe centric, which I really like. You can kind of see a shape over there in the distance. I wonder if that's going to be important later. And yeah, as I say, this is going to be a very heavily glitched run. When I first started playing this game, I'm going to make a few save files on the way as well. That's kind of a new addition to the route. Make a couple of save files there, because we're going to need those in a minute. And the glitch that we're going to use is going to be kind of jumping around save files. So we're going to come here, we're going to make a save that's on save 1. And what we can do is we can actually kind of move items between save files. And that's why I kind of wipe all my save files before going into a run, because we're going to be doing some manipulation here. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down to the library. We've been asked to get a book. We're going to give the banana to the librarian, and the librarian is going to go off and fetch us the book that we need. But rather than walking back up to the Arch-Chancellor's room, we're just going to, reload the save that we made. And amazingly, we still have the book here. So it cuts out a lot of walking. But most importantly, it lets us do one other little trick, which I'll show you here. So in Act 1, what we're supposed to be doing is building a dragon detector so that we can go and find the dragon. And this means, the standard point-and-click adventure stuff of, here's a list of 5 items that you need to go and collect. You can do them in any order. There's puzzles for each one. But what we're actually going to do instead is we're just going to get one item 5 times. So we're going to make a save here. We're going to go back to the Arch-Chancellor's room. We're going to turn in a staff. Then we're going to save 1, load 2, load 1, and we're going to turn in another staff. And then we're going to save 1, load 2, load 1, and we're going to turn in a third staff. And this is fine, because it only matters the amount of quest items you return, not the fact that you've returned in 1 of each.
I am
which is
very
a bit of an
amused.
oversight. Yeah.
Like, here, build this with a bunch of sticks.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. He's off. So Act 1 used to be about 20 minutes, and now it's about 4. Which is, a little bit faster. And it turns out the dragon detector is actually a metal detector, because obviously dragons hoard gold. Rincewind gets a bit greedy, steals the metal detector, and we go off and find the dragon's lair, which is all the way down here. Rincewind takes all the money, and then we meet the dragon. And that's going to be where Act 2 is going to start. I'm mashing escape to get through all this text here. There are some things that aren't skippable with escape, like cutscenes, but yes, text is very much skippable. And then that's going to bring us on to Act 2. Now, in Act 2, we've had a word with the dragon, and the dragon has been brought here against their will by an evil cult. So what we need to do is we need to find out about the evil cult, and we need to steal the 6 gold items that they are using to trap the dragon here. But obviously, we're not going to do that. We're gonna just get one of the golden items and duplicate it 6 times, because that's how we roll. Unfortunately, the way the game's designed, we can't actually get any of the items yet. We do need to do a little bit of work before we do that. So we're going to start our Act 2 here by getting 3 key items that we are going to need later on in the Act. We've just got the glass from the broken drum, which is a very seedy bar. We're going to get the butterfly net here, which we just need to get that troll out the way, and then we can go sit down and get the butterfly net. Load, not save. That was almost really bad. And then we're going to go and get the fireworks from the city gate, which are just in this box here.
That doesn't work.
Oh, whoops. Okay, that's fine. I won't walk back because I accidentally took a little bit too long on that. Now there is a possibility of crashing on this screen, so I'm going to do this very carefully. Because there are certain parts where clicking seems to just crash the game. I managed to avoid it, good. I'm kind of playing a little bit on the fly here because I don't usually have the keg at this point. That was a bit of a mistake. But that's fine. So we're going to make a save here. And now what we need to do, we need to find out about the cult. And the cult summoned the dragon the previous night. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of time travel. There is a concept in the disc of time travel. It's called L space, or library space. And we just need the librarian to open up the portal to L space, which is going to transport us back in time. To do that, we're going to need to give all the treasure in the world to this seedy guy here. He's going to give us a golden banana. We're going to come back here, so we still have the treasure and the golden banana. And we're going to hand in the golden banana there. So, yeah, we kind of... he loses out. He loses golden banana. We still have the gold. Haha, sucks to be you. And that opens up the portal to L space, which, as I say, very rudimentary time travel. It's based on the idea that books equals knowledge, and knowledge equals power, and power is obviously force times distance over time. Which means that books are in fact force times distance over time, and that is how you can time travel. Obviously, that's just how it works. So what we're going to do now is we're going to wait for the cultists to come, because they start their night by stealing a book from the Unseen University Library. We're going to watch them, and then we're going to follow them back to their hideout. Which he's going to do there. He's going to open the bookshelf. We're going to open the bookshelf here. I'm going to just quickly grab the frog before we go outside. Was that?
No, you're good.
Cool.
Keep going.
Cool. All right. I'm going to save just next to the park here. We're going to go into the park. And here is Rincewind. So that, this is Rincewind in the past, a little bit drunk. You may remember earlier in the run we drank we got a drink from the broken drum. That was actually called counterwise wine, which is wine made from grapes that grow backwards in time. So you actually have the hangover before you drink it. So Rincewind is here, the previous night, sleeping off the hangover from the drink that we had earlier in the run, which is actually in his future. Don't worry about causality. Causality is overrated. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. 1 second. A bit of a mistake here. I need to reload there with the butterfly. So we need to wait for the thief to finish his pathing here. I went a little bit. I was a little bit eager, and I went a little bit too early.
That's all right. You just want to go fast because you're a little warm in that costume.
Very, very much so. But there we go. So he went into the hideout that time, and that unlocks the hideout location on the map. I was like a fraction of a second too early. I always knew that would happen one day. And here we're going to get a bit of an unskippable cutscene of like 40 seconds long, watching a guy get very, very hydrated. It's a ridiculously long cutscene for what it is. Because literally we're just going to watch this guy get rained on, and it's very awkward just sitting here watching him get rained on. Just watching him suffer for 30 seconds. Yeah.
Please stay hydrated.
Yeah, please stay hydrated. Maybe not that hydrated. And this is one of the most infamous puzzles in the game, to use the butterfly on the lamp, because it's like the butterfly effect, where like the butterfly flaps its wings around the lamp, and that's what causes rain. And that's a reference that very few people got back in the day, I think, and I think very few people will get now. So it's kind of like famous for puzzles like that, which I find hilarious.
Wow, that is actually absurdly long. Holy buckets.
Yeah, that's the cutscene. And the reason we need to watch that is because we now need to go and steal his robe. We obviously can't steal his robe while he's wearing it, but since he got rained on, he's going to take it off. He's going to get it dried. Save on 2. He's going to get it dried, and we're going to take the opportunity to go ahead and steal his robe, which is a nice, dark, culty-looking robe. So that's going to let us infiltrate the cult. Rincewind, your pathing is terrible. Thank you. Sometimes Rincewind just walks backwards for no reason. His pathing is not very well designed. I am kind of known for just randomly in a run just shouting pathing. So that's good. So this time, instead of waiting for the thief, we know where the hideout is. Let's get to the hideout before he gets to the hideout. And instead, we're going to eavesdrop on him to get the password, and we're going to infiltrate the meeting. And what I like to do at this point in the run is I like to really properly talk about the voice acting in this game, because it is incredible. Like top British talent, genuinely, from the 90s. So There's about 70 or 80 characters in this game, and they're all voiced by 5 people. Rincewind is voiced by Eric Idle from Monty Python, which is incredible just in and of itself. All the other characters in the game are voiced by Rob Brydon, who, if you're a fan of UK comedy or panel shows, you'll definitely recognise that name. I can't skip this top conversation, by the way. Tony Robinson, who you may know as Baldrick from Blackadder or from Time Team. Kate Robbins, who probably the least well-known of them, but you might know from Spitting Image. And John Pertwee, who, if you know Doctor Who, played the Third Doctor. That's the entire voice talent of this game. They are all amazing. And so many of the conversations in this game are literally just Rob Brydon talking to himself with 2 different voices. It's like, if you're a fan of Rob Brydon, that is so hilarious to listen to.
It's actually funny that you bring up Monty Python, because a lot of the voice acting in Blazing Dragons, which is what I keep comparing this to because it reminds me of a similar art style.
Yeah.
Monty Python, writing and I think some voice acting is involved in Blazing Dragons. Please play Blazing Dragons. Please play this game.
Absolutely. Oh man, I love 90s point-and-click adventure games. All right, so now I need help from people in chat, because what we're going to do is we're going to summon a dragon. In order to summon a dragon, obviously we're going to get into the cultist meeting. We need to all chant Jagaga as loud as we can to summon this dragon. So we'll skip it for a moment. Jagaga, 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 Jagaga. And as many people to help as possible.
So it's Dragaga, right?
Dragaga. However you want to spell it. I spell it with a J, but Dragaga. I think they're supposed to be chanting dragon, but it definitely does not sound like dragon.
Oh no.
Jagaga, Jagaga.
Oh,
right,
there
cool.
it goes.
There it is, we summoned a dragon. We did it. We did it, chat. Well done. All right. So now we've summoned the dragon. A few things have changed in the world that's going to open up the access to these golden items. Yeah, we're still after those golden items. Unfortunately, yeah, you cannot get any before watching that cutscene. Believe me, I have tried. We're going to go for the fastest golden item, which is the Dunnyman's Golden Tooth. So the Dunnyman is one of the cultists, and his golden artifact is a tooth. A couple of things we need to do here in the square to get that. Firstly, we need to go to our doctor's appointment. And this is just how doctor's appointments are in the UK. I mean, I don't know how they are in America, but, you go in the doctor's office, you lie down on the couch, he hits you on the head with a hammer, and then you walk out, and then you get the bill in the mail a few days later. I assume it's similar in the US, right?
I mean, surely it is.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a typical psychiatrist appointment. And we did that mainly so that we can get in here and get an item off the milkmaid here, the note. That's going to let us distract the dentist later, once we've managed to get the Dunnyman over there. In the meantime, we're going to take one of these donuts, and we're going to give it to the Dunnyman to make him have an emergency dentist appointment, shall we say. I'm going to stand right here, so I don't have to move when I actually use the item. Dunnyman's going to come over, and here you go. Random stranger hands you a donut. What do? You absolutely eat it and then go to the dentist. That's just general life advice. Disclaimer, please do not. So now he's run off to the dentist. We need to go to the dentist. We can distract him with the note and get the tooth. So we've got the note. Distract the... Well, he's actually the barber, but I guess he's got a bit of a side hustle, It happens. Everyone should have a side hustle. So we're going to use the apparatus, extract the tooth, which, I'm sure Rincewind is an expert at, for whatever reason. He doesn't make it look easy, but, it happened. It works. And the Dunnyman seems fine with it. So we're going to make a third save file here, and we're going to go back to save file 1, which we made all the way back at the beginning of Act 2, because that's when we were the closest to the barn. And I'm going to try a little maneuver here, a little fancy maneuver. We're going to save 1, load 3, load 1. I'm going to try and scroll luggage onto screen and open inventory before I go back to the dragon. Didn't work. Dang. It's really, really annoyingly finicky to do. But it can save a few... it can save a few frames at least. So we'll turn in the third tooth. We will turn in the fourth tooth. We will turn in the fifth tooth. Yep, got mixed up there. That's fine. We will turn in the sixth tooth. I want to make sure not to mess up my saves here, because this is where if I accidentally save over save 3 there, I lose like 10 minutes of progress.
Oh god, yeah.
Definitely don't want to do that. I have done that in the past. But that's not the end for Act 2, because the dragon then turns to us and goes, oh, thank you for freeing me. Now I'm going to kill everyone who was at that meeting, including you.
What?
And including everyone in chat. You were all there. You all helped. We've got records of chat. So
oh, no.
We need to go and stop the dragon from ever having existed. To do that, we're going to get a custard book, and we're going to swap the cover of the custard book with the dragon book. So what this book is a recipe book from Nanny Og, who is a witch in Discworld. So when they come to steal the book, they're actually going to steal a book about making custard using love potion. So instead of making a cult that's about summoning dragons, we've made a cult that's about making love potion custard. Yes, that's exactly how it works. This is very logical. I don't know how anybody thought the puzzles in this game weren't completely 100% logical. It seems fine to me. So they're now making custard instead of a dragon. Rincewind comes here to the palace to ask for a reward, but we've kind of made it never happen, so the dragon never existed, and we come for a reward about it. Which, obviously, we're not going to get that reward because we didn't do anything, because there was nothing to do. Then the dragon shows up, and I think this is because of a curious thing in the Discworld where things exist if you believe in them, and enough people have now seen this dragon to actually believe in it. So now it actually exists, even though it never got summoned in the first place. Does that make sense? No, not really.
Yeah, I was like, you already lost me at thanks for releasing me. So now because of that, I'm gonna kill everyone that was at that meeting, including you, the person who helped release me.
Yep, that's how it goes.
And then it's all right, well, this is a problem, so we're gonna go back in time and just pretend you don't exist.
Look, causality is questionable. Okay, it's fine. But just don't worry about the fabric of causality. This game certainly doesn't. All right, so Act 3. What we're supposed to be doing in Act 3, we're not going to be doing it at all, is becoming just enough of a hero, like a classic hero, to have exactly 1,000,000 to 1 chance at killing the dragon. Because the gods in Discworld have a sense of humor, and 1,000,000 to 1 chances happen 9 times out of 10. This is an actual physical law in Discworld. That if you've got something that is exactly 1,000,000 to 1 chance, it will happen 9 times out of 10. So you need to, yeah, yep. That's a thing. As I say, the gods have a sense of humor. But we're not actually going to do that anyway. What we're going to do is we're going to come over here to Lady Ramkin's Dragon Sanctuary. I'm going to put this love custard tart away, which you just got. So we got that from the cult that we just created. It's a tart made of love custard, and we're going to do what's called the Ramkin skip. Now, this one is the glitch that is possible on hardware, because when you knock on the door here, there are 2 triggers: one that brings Lady Ramkin to the front door, and one that closes the cage in the behind the house. However, they put both of those triggers on the knocker, but they forgot to put the one that locks the cage on the door. So if we knock on the door and then run to the back before Ramkin comes to the front, Ramkin goes to the front. Pathing. Thank you. Ramkin goes to... Are you serious? Alright, thank you. Ramkin goes to the front of the house, but the cage at the back remains unlocked. And that basically lets us get an item that we really shouldn't have in Act 3. There are supposed to be 4 acts in this game. We do not do any of the rest of it. Because this is about to be the end of the run. So we get Mambo here.
Name was Mambo.
Yeah, this is Mambo. Mambo the dragon. This is definitely not how you hold a dragon. I should point out. If you ever get a dragon, do not hold it by its neck.
Or cock it like a shotgun.
Yeah, exactly. So Mambo has a very interesting property. If you can get Mambo into a state of being fully fed, the next time that you screen transition, it just warps you to the end of the game. And it does this because this is supposed to be the last item you get in the game. And it's assumed that once you've done that, once you've got Mambo fed, you know, the only place you want to go from there is the end of the game. So it skips, you know, you having to walk back to the square or anything, and it just takes you straight there. So what we'll do, we've now got Mambo fully fed. By duplicating some fireworks, which is yet another glitch that I didn't talk about, we just leave the screen, and now we're at the end of Act 4, even though we never even did Act 3. So that's the thing. Rincewind's going to get dressed up as a hero. He's going to put his bandana on. And he's going to get out his gun, the M16. We're going to fire at the dragon. It's going to miss. We're going to get fired at. That's the thing that's a 1,000,000 to 1 chance. So the dragon fires at us. It's a 1,000,000 to 1 chance that they miss. So of course they keep missing because it's a 9 out of 10 chance now, thanks to the gods. And we are very much coming up on time. So what we need to do here, our gun decides to fall in love with the dragon. I mean, not necessarily decides to fall in love with the dragon. You know, love just happens. So we need to make the dragon reciprocate that love. We're going to throw the custard tart at the dragon. Its time is coming up as soon as I throw the custard tart. And... time.
21:15.
21:15. Nice.
I have many questions about what I just witnessed, but I don't think I'll be able to understand any of the answers either.
Yeah, that's also a very reasonable reaction. And so the dragons fly off into the sunset together and do some aerial acrobatics. And yeah, we'll skip that to the next scene. And we get the nice little ending scene. Oh, they're so happy. And yeah, I don't necessarily know about the ethics about making a dragon fall in love, but I mean, you know, it happened.
Oh my goodness, get your GGs out for Mindez. Everyone's already getting their GGs out. Oh, and here comes
Death.
Yeah.
He's apologizing for not being in the final scene. He's making all his excuses.
By the way, people love your cosplay.
Oh, thank you so much. I've not had time to check out at all. I'll have to rewatch this. It's not my fault!
Like, I would like to also ask, where was your hero bandana, Mindez?
Oh, I need a hero bandana. The full hero cosplay. I can't remember all the items that go into making the hero cosplay, because literally, like, I did that for my first playthrough, and then after that, once you learn the Ramkin skip, you never do the second half of the game. So I don't even remember how to do the second half of the game. But yeah, that is Discworld.
That was
that is the Discworld. If anybody is curious, it is a flat world that exists on the back of 4 elephants on the back of a giant turtle in space.
What?
In the second-hand step of dimensions. In an astral plane that was never meant to fly.
In an astral plane that was never meant to fly.
Yep. That's the Discworld.
Oh my god, that is absurd.
Somewhere in darkest Ankh-Morpork.
Oh my god.
A sinister plot is about to unfold.
This is great. I love this. I'm so glad that I took this run for this. Thank you for offering to do this run.
It's a hilarious world. I wish they'd do more games about Discworld, honestly, because it's got such a lot of like aspects to it. It's very satirical about like everything in the world. So it's a great series of novels. I've not read most of them, but yeah, I really want to. It's Turtles all the way down, exactly.
I want to strongly recommend any other marathon style like runs you do of this game. Just bring someone who has no idea what they're about to witness, and you'll just get a lot of what happened to me.
That is a very good point idea.
Like, just bring it. It's like, hey, have you ever read or seen Discworld? No. Good. You're gonna be my commentator. Come here. Oh my goodness. Do you have any shout outs? Tell the lovely people where they can find you, where they can tell you. Yes, that's exactly what I meant.
So shout out to the other current runner of this game, Chefto Gaming, who I think's got another marathon. I can't remember which marathon that is, coming up soon. I can be found at twitch.tv/Mindezi with a ZY, like Mindez with a ZY on the end, because Mindez was taken. I do kind of, like I say, I'm trying to do more variety kind of speed runs. I do some blindfolded runs. I'm working my way through blindfolded Tomb Raider very slowly. I think we're on like level 11 out of 15.
Something like that.
Something like that. And yeah, I do mainly like other Sonic games mainly, and Layton games. and I'm planning a big like month-long charity event coming up soon. Woo!
Yeah, that's
I'm not really
happening in
talking about.
December, right?
It is, yeah.
That's
Gonna
gonna
be
be
a whole load
exciting.
of a month long of like variety, like kind of experimental streams and getting the community involved, and I have a lot to prepare for it.
Yeah, like I mean, you approached me and you were like, "Do you like the idea of doing something dumb in December?" I'm like, "Oh hell yeah, I do."
Yeah, it's all about dumb. Like if I had to sum up my stream, it is just it's dumb ideas, sometimes blindfolded.
Oh yeah.
And the last shout out I have to give, because this is a Terry Pratchett game, GNU Terry Pratchett. That's a phrase that keeps Terry Pratchett's name alive forever.
All right. So like I think that's gonna do it for Discworld. One quick question though: how much of this run on ScummVM like is like exclusive to that versus DOS and PS1?
It's mainly the save file manipulations and the item duplication. The Ramkin skip is still possible on the actual hardware and I want to say PS1. I've not actually tested it on PS1. I should test it on PS1.
You should. But yeah, like that would be that's gonna be it for us. We'll be right back after this break. We are coming up with, I already forgot what the next run is. It is Sonic Mania Blaze New Game Plus with Roman.
Ooh, Roman.
So we'll be right back after this.